So the new era, the new era begins today. And there'll be a new era when we hire a full-time manager. Today was the first game with Freddie in charge. We had Norwich away from home, and I knew we weren't going to win the game. I was perfectly comfortable knowing that we weren't going to win this game because I just wanted to see something new, at least a bit of identity, and bringing back the basics. And I think there were elements of that today. I think that there were moments where genuinely it felt like the players had a bit more freedom. It wasn't so negative. I mean, we got in at half-time. We had spent more time in the Norwich penalty area than we did against Southampton in the full 90 minutes at home. So there were changes, 100% sure. And Freddie has said in the pre-match interviews and all the media stuff he's done that he just wants them to play with a smile on their face and just be, I don't know, a bit more expressive. And I don't know. It's a difficult one. It wasn't the best game to have this kind of comeback. It's not easy going to a promoted club like Norwich and playing in their stadium. Though they've beaten Man City there this season, but because it's Norwich, you expect more. You expect to win. And yes, we should have won. And I should move my mic just in case you can't really hear me. I feel like because of that, it kind of puts a little bit of pressure on the players because, yes, it's tough going to Norwich and playing there, and when you've got a new manager coming in and you've got a point to prove, and then when you're not winning, you've got the added pressure because it's just Norwich. So yeah, it's still not good enough. It wasn't a great performance. I thought the first 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes before they scored, we looked pretty good. I was actually pretty happy. It looked like we had a bit of Arsenal back. But then the rest of the game, defensively, let's talk about the lineup, which you can see there. Leno in goal, who, by the way, was probably my man of the match. Even though Aubameyang scored 2 goals, I think Leno, well, we would have lost if Leno wasn't so good today. So, I think he gets my man of the match and once again proves to be worthy of the price we spent, which it really wasn't too much, to be fair. But let's talk about Chambers at right back, because I think Chambers is a good player. I don't think he's a bad player at all, but I don't think he's a right back. I think we've seen quite a few times this season how his lack of pace really hurts him defensively. You can get away with it as centre-back, you can get away with it as a CDM, but as a right-back, you could see, especially with Norwich's second goal just before the break, Chambers just out of position and couldn't get back. Just could not get back. He's just too slow for that kind of play. And I think technically he's pretty good on the ball. He's quite quick with his feet. And I feel like centre-back and central midfield suits him a lot more. Not really sure what's going on with Bellerin. Was he even on the bench? No, he wasn't. So clearly Bellerin's had a bit of a setback. I personally don't think Chambers is quite right for playing right back, but clearly we didn't really have a choice today. And I don't think he was bad, by the way. I think going forward he offered something. He wasn't terrible, but you can see we're missing having Bellerin fit, and we've been saying that for the last year. But we got caught out massively because of just lack of pace in this team. I'll talk about it more as we go through the players. But we move over to Mustafi, who was brought back in. Yeah, not sure about that one, Freddie. Clearly, he doesn't feel like he can trust Socrates. Don't blame him, by the way. But why not throw Holding in there? I mean, Holding was on the bench, right? No, he wasn't. So it was Socrates on the bench. Okay, so why wasn't Holding on the bench? I haven't really read into the injuries going on right now. Clearly, Holding's had a bit of a setback as well. But in the future, I would like to see Holding, Chambers given a go at centre-back. Because Mustafi, although he wasn't awful today... It's crazy that I'm saying that, but he wasn't good, was he? There were moments of madness. He just throws himself to the ground, and he's slow, and his decision-making is questionable. And next to David Luiz, it is... I mean, is it a meme? Is this actually our defence right now? Chambers at right-back, Kolasinac at left-back, and then David Luiz with Mustafi. I mean, you've got to be wondering what year we're in. It's pretty incredible that is the back four we used today. In fairness to Mustafi, he helped us get back in the game from that corner. He's headed it and it's come off a Norwich player and fallen for Aubameyang. What a finish that was. Aubameyang had, I think, a very good game in front of goal when he could get involved. but we didn't really give him much, did we? I think Ozil was missing quite a lot. But defensively, it was our downfall today. I think, as we've all said, all Arsenal fans will tell you, going forward, it doesn't seem like we're struggling too much. Maybe it's just a lack of confidence, but we've got the talent. Defensively, nothing. And there is only so much you can do. I mean, Freddie's had, 2 days, 3 days, maybe 2 training sessions with the team. How is he going to get across his points in just 2 days? And that's why I knew, if anything, we weren't going to win today. It was always going to be a struggle. We would still see the repetitiveness of poor defending because these players are uncoachable, it seems. How are you going to coach David Luiz, Socrates? These guys are into their 30s now. The habits that they've picked up throughout their career, it's done. You can't teach old dogs tricks, new tricks, okay? It doesn't work. You can clearly tell our defence is an issue. We've got January coming up for the transfer window. We're not going to do anything about it. I know that. We've spent our massive £45 million budget for this season already. So we're stuck with it. And unfortunately, no matter who we bring in, even if we did get Mourinho and Tottenham didn't, I don't think even he, one of the best defensive coaches in the world at parking the bus and going defensive, can do anything with this defence. It is that bad. It really is. Without Leno today, we would have conceded 5 or 6 goals. So you've got to give credit to Norwich, by the way, to beat City there, to get a draw against Arsenal as well when we could have maybe hit some new form today. Sometimes when you get a new manager in, there's a real boost. You see it a lot. Wasn't to be today. Norwich, I thought, were pretty good. Very, very impressive. And Pukki getting back in the action as well. It's been a little while. Now, another thing I want to mention before we go into the rest of the team is the management of the game from Freddie and Per Mertesacker, who was assistant manager for the day, and I'm guessing he will be for the next few games until we get someone else in. But Freddie made some interesting decisions today, not just the lineup, which I don't really agree with, but some of the substitutions. I was thinking, is Emery still in charge here? Bringing on Saka when you've got someone like Pepe on the bench. I've got to ask, you've got to be thinking as an Arsenal fan, what has Pepe got to do? The last time we won, 8 weeks ago. That's the last time we won a game, 8 weeks ago. Pepe scored 2 free kicks in that game. He was the last person to score for us in a winning game. I mean, there's something going on, okay? Maybe it is lack of confidence. Maybe Pepe has expressed he's just not happy at the moment and he was rude or whatever. But there has to be something going on for him not to get into the team. I think, if anything, it's formation. It is tactics that get in the way because we don't really play with wingers. Today, it looked like a diamond in midfield with 2 strikers. There is no space for a left and a right winger. Ozil and Aubameyang drifting out wide every now and again, which actually I think hurt us quite a lot. And then you've got the wing-backs pushing forward, which I would have liked to have seen Tierney and Bellerin, of course, if both fit. Tierney on the bench as well, a little bit of a weird one. Well, who else was on the bench? We had Torreira, Pepe, Saka, Martinelli. Yeah, Martinelli coming on at the end there. Pepe's still available. 2 substitutions in a row where I'm screaming for Pepe. I'm thinking this could be a great moment for Pepe. Norwich looked tired. There was a chance that Pepe could stretch those legs and just get in behind. I'm so used to seeing him dominating my career mode. Of course, it doesn't work like that in real football. Clearly, he is just lacking confidence, and the manager wants to play Saka and Martinelli ahead of him. I don't know. It's an odd one. I would have liked to see Torreira start today as well, but I was happy to see Torreira come in and actually play in a defensive position. He was not the furthest forward midfielder for once. That's one thing I will never forget about the Emery era, of him putting Torreira on and seeing him basically play as a centre forward. I don't even want to think about it. By the way, actually, a little bit of a sour note, but I saw on Twitter, Arsenal posted it, a bunch of other clubs as well. Ex-Arsenal player Benik Afobe lost his daughter over the weekend. I believe she was very young, so really, really sad to see that. And I know, obviously, he's not going to be watching this video, but pay your respects to Benik Afobe, ex-Arsenal player, ex-Stoke. He's playing at Bristol now, I believe. It's a really sad, sad story, and that's bigger than football. So, just thoughts with him and his family. It's just... That's horrendous, and no matter how bad you feel about Arsenal right now, or football in general, if your team's losing, just spare a moment to think of that. It's horrible, isn't it? But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. So let's go into midfield. How did I think Xhaka, Guendouzi and Willock did as a midfield 3, kind of a diamond with Ozil at the tip of the diamond. Xhaka once again showing that he's not capable of playing against a team that can hit you on the break because of his lack of mobility and lack of a brain. He doesn't seem to understand that when he goes forward and leaves gaps, he's not going to be able to get back and plug those gaps. Guendouzi doesn't seem to want to do it either. And to be fair to Willock, he works so hard, and 9 times out of 10, it's actually him that's getting back and getting the work done. But I see him as an attacking player. So whatever Freddie's going to say to Xhaka after this game, surely it's got to be, mate, I trust you on the ball. You know, even though I don't trust him on the ball at all. But clearly managers do. Professional managers seem to like Xhaka for some odd reason. But you've got to sit back. You've got to plug those holes and stop advancing so much. Do what you do best, and that is ping passes forward. Play it forward. Don't adventure out if you haven't got someone behind. Because when Torreira came on, it was better. It was. Torreira absolutely needs to be on the pitch if Xhaka is. That's the way I see it. If Xhaka's on, Torreira's on. There's no way you can play Xhaka on his own, because there were times, and Leno made an incredible save in the second half, and it was all because of Granit Xhaka just slow on the ball, and it got nicked. I mean, Guendouzi's pass to him wasn't great, but it's just it's a bit of a calamitous midfield sometimes, and then that blows back onto the defence, which is even worse. I just see Arsenal as 5-star up top, and then it's like 2-star in FIFA terms. It is awful how bad we are behind the attacking third. So, big window up ahead. We need to bring in some defensive reinforcements. But I thought Guendouzi was okay today. I saw one thing. He was shooting. Guendouzi does not get enough assists, and he does not get enough goals for sure. And I would like to see him getting further forward and actually providing more of a product. You know, it's all well and good running around, winning tackles, and maybe getting the pre-assist and getting moves going, but you've got to be scoring and assisting as a midfielder, especially if you're box to box and doing that job. And it's one thing that we've lost with Ramsey. You know, we don't have a Ramsey anymore that chips in with those goals. Mesut Ozil, same with him today. Moments of, okay, not too bad, but a lot of it was him going missing and slowly walking back into position. But he made a couple of tackles. He got some interceptions in there and a few good movements going forward. But in general, I thought Ozil was a little bit poor today. Aubameyang and Lacazette up top. You know, I love to see the two of them up top, but I really feel like they need some pace to help them. When you've got pace, you want more pace. They work well together. If you've got 3 really quick players going forward, Ozil isn't the quickest. Xhaka isn't going to provide that. Guendouzi isn't going to provide that. Willock's not the fastest. I guess he was kind of getting forward. But bringing in someone like Pepe is, I think, what would unlock the even more potent midfield 3. I really feel like we would have just so much more going forward if there was that winger, you know. Because Aubameyang's doing 2 jobs. He wants to play up top, but he has to go out wide to get the ball sometimes. And that doesn't seem to work. So Pepe coming in, I think, will just unlock that a little bit, and it would help out. But Pepe can't get into the team, it seems. So, it's really unfortunate, because today was, I thought, a great opportunity just for the players to show the fans that they've got the quality. We all know they have, but just prove it, because we haven't won in 8 weeks now. This is becoming a little bit crazy. I've sat here for 2 months now making these videos, and every single time it's resulted in a draw or a loss. I mean, it is our worst start to a Premier League season ever, I believe, since it was formatted. What am I trying to say here? Since the Premier League began. Okay, sometimes I just lose my words, but worst start ever. 4 wins from 14 games. Yikes. Not looking good, but thankfully we kind of get away with it somewhat, because Chelsea lost, Man City drew. And those are the teams that will be catching. We need to pray that Everton beat Leicester today, because if Leicester win, well, they're already too far away. But as an Arsenal fan, looking forward, you know, we've made the decision to remove the manager and bring Freddie in. It's a late decision. I think if we had done this before the winter break, or not the winter break, before the international break, Freddie would have had a week and a half, 2 weeks with most of the team. So I think we've come in too late with the decision, but it's done now. You've got to look to the future. I'm sure a new manager's coming in the next few weeks. Is it still possible? Is it still something we can achieve? Top 4? My gut says no. My head says no. but my heart says yes. I feel like, if Chelsea do start dropping points, which may well happen because I think they have been overachieving, and if City are still going to be struggling, which I doubt, I think they will pick up some good form. But other teams around us, if they start to drop form, and if teams below us also, maybe pick up the odd win but not actually outperform us, then there's hope. There's always hope. And I won't give up. Now that Emery's gone, I really feel like we've got that chance. It's just a shame it's a little bit too late because Tottenham did it really well, I think. They did it in the perfect time. They got rid of the manager, even though it was the wrong decision. I don't agree with what they did. But timing-wise, it was better because you've got longer. Freddie has had no time, and he will not have time. He's not going to be here permanently. He shouldn't be here permanently for me. Nowhere near ready enough. But for the next 2-3 weeks, whatever it may be, until we bring someone in, I think actually Freddie can do a good job because he's got respect from the players and he's an Arsenal man, isn't he? So it was quite nice seeing him on the edge of the pitch. But 2-2 against Norwich, not the best result ever, not the worst result ever. I don't think we will fail to win for much longer. I think it's coming. We're due a win. Maybe VAR could help us out again. That would be nice. We got some luck today. I think the penalty was a little bit soft, the retake. Not so sure about that one myself, but we'll take it. Come on, Varsenal. Can we get some more decisions? Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed my Operation Arsenal episode today, the review of the game, and we'll be back again for the next one.